Hello, welcome to the Michael Finkley Show. I'm Michael Finkley. Thank you so much for watching. Today is Monday, June 15th, 2020. We're in a brand new week of expectation, a brand new week of excitement, a brand new week of enjoyment. Learn all you can, soak it up like a sponge. If you have not, please subscribe to our channel, the Finkley Experience channel, to have an opportunity to see more shows of the Michael Finkley Show. Ring that bell for notifications and you'll be the first to receive emails about our show. Again, we're excited about this month because we're continuing on our conversation with college readiness. You've already seen persons that deal with college readiness already. You've seen persons that are in the field within college admissions. And now this week, we're going to talk about money, scholarship money, right, is needed for college, all right? There are scholarships out there which is free money, and there is money out there which are loans that you have to pay back. Let me tell you this quick story. When I was going through the process, being a first generation student myself, I didn't know the difference, right? I didn't start applying to college. Until my senior year of high school. And so when I was going through the process, the thought of paying for college never crossed my mind until I actually applied for school, and the officials at my school started asking for my mom's tax information so I can get, the money needed from the federal government. Again, didn't know the difference between free money and the money that you have to pay back. And so I'm telling you, as a professional now, almost 15 years later, please apply for scholarships. They're everywhere. Just take a look, okay? Take a look at what you have on. You may have on some things from Nike. You may have on some things from Reebok. Your shoes may be Jordans, Walmart even as well. Take a look at this. I tell you, each of those businesses that you're wearing, those brands that you're wearing, could provide some type of scholarship. Do your research, okay? But we're going to talk about more in depth. We have professionals that are here to assist you through this process. These two ladies know what they're talking about. They've been in this profession for years on top of years, and they are excited to give their knowledge and their wealth to you. So when we come back, we'll be talking with Miss Melinda Mihlbauer following Miss Valerie Gill. You don't want to miss this. We'll be right back. Next, we chat with the founder of the PACE Scholarship Academy, Melinda Mihlbauer. We'll be right back. On the next Michael Finkley, to continue our discussion on college readiness, we have Antonio McFarland. He talks with us about his experience in college admissions, and we talk about his brand new book, College is Possible. Join us on the next Michael Finkley. Everybody, we are continuing our monthly session on college readiness this month, and we have this awesome person with us today who's going to talk about scholarships. Scholarships are so needed for the time that we live in now to attend college. So here is one lady, she has got it down packed, I think. So here's Miss Melinda Mihlbauer. Melinda, thank you so much for being on today.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. And I know you said you wanted me to start with the introduction about how I got started with PACE Scholarship Academy.
Yep.
So I always like to tell people that is like my other job, because by day I work as a certified high school counselor in Dorchester County. I started in Darlington County as a high school counselor and kind of dibble and dabble with the whole scholarship process, helping my students and my church members and my brother and sister go through the process. But when I transitioned to Woodland High School and started partnering with TRIO programs, colleges and universities and other organizations, I really learned about, the opportunities that are out there for students, of the wealth of opportunities that are out there for students. And so I continue to help my students and my church members, but I always talk about how we really got started with the program was that my oldest daughter, Chanel, we started this process when she was in middle school and did that all the way through 12th grade. So she did win some scholarships, 9th, 10th, and 11th grade, but the bulk of her scholarships she actually received in her senior year. A total number of scholarships were 63 and 13 full ride offers. And so people would ask us after she graduated, well, how did you do it? People would stop us at Walmart and Target and after church. So, there was nothing I really could tell people in a 5 or 10-minute conversation or to reply back on an email. So we figured we had to find an organized way to put the information out to the public. And that's how we started Pay Scholarship Academy.
Now, how long have you been doing this with the Pay Scholarship Academy?
So we started after Chanel graduated from Francis Marion. So around 2017, 2016, 2017, we started the program and traveling and offering our boot camps and our scholarship essay writing workshops.
Gotcha. Okay. Awesome. And I tell you this too, Melinda has been a great resource for me when I started the Finkley experience. She herself came to me and she's like, Finkley, what about doing something about first generation students? I'm just like, I'll try it. But it has been a blessing to me these past almost 3 years. So thank you so much for that, Melinda. You said that within your scholarship academy, you do different workshops and sessions. What other events have you done? Signature events have you done within your own program?
So we offer our scholarship boot camps, our essay writing boot camps, and we'll talk about that because that's probably one of the biggest reasons students do not get scholarships because of the essays that they submit. We do extreme scholarship boot camps where we combine our essay writing workshop and our scholarship boot camp. And then our biggest event that people love to talk about is our statewide scholarship and college fair. We just had our 3rd annual event this past winter, and well, not too far back, but January, February, and March, we offered these events to students and parents and colleges and universities and organizations. And what that looks like is that we bring in scholarship organizations, clubs, organizations, community organizations, so parents and students can meet with these people face to face to find out what it takes to get those institutional scholarships, what it takes to get those private scholarships, what type of community service is out there for students to participate in, and just any other additional resources. We offer FAFSA workshops. We offer, your workshop on how to be successful as a first generation scholar. So there were a number of opportunities that we offered through that event. It's free, and that's what people love. So as long as they register by the deadline each year, we usually open it for like 6 months for people to register. But it's a free event, and we give away laptops and printers and cards and books and multiple $500 scholarships. And so we're able to do that. I'm able to travel to do our workshops because we've actually published 3 ultimate scholarship books. And so the proceeds from the books, we give it back to events like the statewide scholarship and college fair.
Gotcha. And these books that you have 3 now. Talk more about that. What does each of them have for students?
So our first book that's updated each school year is the first book we started. I wanted to do this book because I work as a high school counselor in South Carolina. So my daughter and I did research for 2 years, and we put together our ultimate scholarship book for South Carolina high school students. And it's broken down by every county in South Carolina. We have statewide scholarships, and then about 70 pages of national level scholarships. But we really did the book because we wanted to show parents and students in our state that we have a lot of resources that are available. And you don't only have to use those resources in South Carolina. So that's a big myth that I'm not going to apply for those local and state level scholarships because I may not plan to go to school in South Carolina. But if you read the eligibility requirements, a lot of them will allow you to use those scholarships at any school in any state across the country. So people started writing us and saying, well, why did you do this book just for South Carolina students? I'm like, I work in South Carolina. So I wanted to have this resource for parents and students. But again, we had, enough information where we could put together our second and third book. So our second book we have for incoming college freshmen, current college students, and graduate school students. That's our college level book. And then we recently published our ultimate scholarship book for middle and high school students. But most parents and students think, and educators sometimes think, that you need to start this process in your junior and senior year, and that's definitely not true. There are scholarships that are available in all grade levels. So we talk about that in our workshops as well. There was a 6-year-old that won $30,000 from Google. We know middle school students who won the VFW Patriots Pen scholarship, $5,000 in 7th grade. So the resources are out there for students. And so we did this national level book. But people still ask us, well, is this book still just available for students in South Carolina? So that lets me know as well, people don't know the difference between local, state, and national level scholarships. National level scholarships mean any student in any state can apply as long as they meet the eligibility requirements. So that just means we still have work to do.
Oh, of course, all across the board. And being your time doing this on your own, Melinda, and also as a professional school counselor, what are some of the big things that students kind of mess up on as they're doing within the scholarship search?
Well, combination of things, they're not prepared. So we always say preparation is the key. You have to stay organized, first of all. I tell people it's like a part-time job, and you'll get paid on the end when you don't have to pay for college or not as much for college. But starting by getting organized to start the process, that's one of the biggest mistakes. The scholarship essays, we talk about that as well. Not having multiple people read your essays before you submit them. We run essay contests as well, and we've received scholarship essays where the first paragraph had 14 mistakes. And so it was a 500-word essay. And so if you're sending that to us, imagine what you're sending, to other people as well. So, I really stress to parents and to students to find those resources. An English teacher, a retired English teacher from your church or in your community that's willing to give their time and review your scholarship essays as well. Some of those scholarships require a test score. So if you haven't taken your ACT or your SAT yet, then you may be disqualified for that particular scholarship as well. And just, being that well-rounded student, we've talked before, Chanel wasn't a Val or a Sal or a top 10 or a top 20 student, but a well-rounded student. She looked good on paper. Right. And so that's one of the things that we stress, that she received 63 scholarships, and more scholarships than the Val, Sal, top 10 or top 20 student. But we made sure early that she looked good on paper and that she was going to be able to compete for a lot of those scholarships. They're looking for the volunteer community service hours. We're out right now. There's so many opportunities that are available for students to participate in. And even though a lot of us are quarantined, we're going through a pandemic. My 9th grader right now, she volunteered with the League of Women Voters and did an Instagram campaign for them.
I love it.
So that counted as community service to encourage young people to assist senior citizens to sign up for absentee voting. It was an easy one to do. And so she shared that information and she got credit for it.
I love it.
So there are a number of things that students can do that are available, resources that are out there right now online. And so that's probably some of the biggest mistakes that students, they're just not prepared to go through the process. Parents and students think, I'm just going to get this application, fill it out, cross my fingers, and hope someone gives me the money. But the better prepared you are, if you type your application versus handwriting, if you make sure that you don't submit a handwritten application in purple ink or orange ink, and I've seen that before as well. Blue or black, if you have to write it, blue or black ink is the safest way to go. Definitely no pink and purples and
pencil.
And pencil. I've seen those as well. So again, those are some of the big mistakes that people
Gotcha. And do you see, as of yet, you mentioned the pandemic, do you see as of yet any scholarships that reflect the pandemic thus far?
We've seen some organizations that are not making the application process as difficult as it was before. I've seen, like Jaren, she offered one for TikTok. The kids are on TikTok all the time, and so she offered a scholarship for that. We've seen a number of people that actually cancel or postpone their scholarships as well. So it's different things that are taking place. But I've been telling my students at Woodland, the students that follow us on our Facebook page, this is the perfect time, though, for you to apply for scholarships, because a lot of students are not in their high schools. Well, we're done now with high school, but a lot of students are not in their colleges and their high schools right now to get someone to give that gentle reminder to complete those scholarship applications, or the deadline is coming up. So a lot of students have just kind of pushed it to the back of their minds. This is the perfect opportunity for you to apply for those scholarships, especially those national level scholarships, because no one is out there to really remind them. We're trying to remind them, but not everybody is on our page to follow us.
Yeah, definitely. So what advice would you give to seniors, juniors, sophomores, freshmen now that are going back to school in the fall, hopefully, about applying for scholarships?
Start preparing now. I'm old school. I tell people to get a binder. Sometimes people don't like the binder, but we are now at 517 students that have full rides with our assistants, and a little over 5,000 that have received one or more scholarships. But I tell everybody, if I had to poll those full ride students, every last one of them have a binder. Some people do spreadsheets. Some people, set up different things to help them remember their deadlines. But all of our students have binders where they keep their test scores, their success resume, their recommendation letters, all in this organized binder. I think when Chanel graduated, he had like 9 binders in place with scholarships that we actually collected from 9th grade through 12th grade. And we were researching those scholarships and what the organizations were looking for, so we can start preparing when she did qualify to apply for those scholarships. So do your research now. We share scholarships daily on our page, and I tell people, I'm not sharing this just to share, or if a student wins a scholarship, I'm not sharing it just to put it out there or to brag. I'm taking notes, and I'm making sure my students are taking notes. Okay, well, the Rotary Club in Aiken, they're giving $5,000 to a number of students. Let me make a note of that, because when I do qualify to apply, I want to make sure that I apply for that particular scholarship. So, preparation is the key. ACT, SAT, there are a lot of free resources that are available for students right now. We're online. Go online and start prepping for your ACT and SAT, those juniors and seniors. So when you do return back to school, you're prepared to take those exams.
Gotcha. Awesome. Sounds good to me. How can they find you on social media, Melinda?
So we heavily advertise all of our boot camps on our Facebook page at Pay Scholarship Academy. We're on Instagram, Pay Scholarship Academy as well. And I always stress that we do not do one-on-one consulting, because just with the demand. But we do work in small groups, and we will be doing virtual boot camps this summer. So definitely be on the lookout for that information at the end of the week. And so we'll start sharing that information for students and parents, for students to sign up for our scholarship boot camp.
All righty, you heard it here first. Thank you so much, Melinda, for being on. And again, follow her on her social media outlets. Thank you, Melinda.
Coming up, we chat with the scholarship leader herself, Miss Valerie Gill. We'll be right back.
I'm just not college material. I am tired of school. I'm just not sure what I want to do after graduation. Sound familiar? Welcome to the Prelo Educational Institute. Our focus is to help young people prepare for life after high school. It's never too early to start planting the seed for education, career, and life overall. The Prelo Educational Institute is made up of the following 2 products. The first product is the book titled I Ain't Going to College, A Guide for Life After High School. This is the first book of a series that introduces middle and high school students to a young man struggling to find his way and make the decision about whether attending college is the right choice for him or not. The book has questions inside, and a supplemental curriculum can also be purchased. The newest product from the Prelo Educational Institute is our online course titled Preparing for Life After High School. In this course, students will learn about decision-making, self-confidence, accountability, self-awareness, and many other topics that speak to social-emotional learning. Young people will read a story about a young man who never gave up no matter what the circumstances were. The course is interactive and has questions, quizzes, and video. Do not wait until your child or student is a senior in high school to start planning. Enroll today. To enroll and learn more, please visit www.speakerauthormarlowe.com. And
Hello, welcome back. We are now continuing our conversation with scholarships, and this is the scholarship lady, Valerie Gill. She has been doing this for many years, and she has helped so many students along the way. So I'm going to allow her to introduce herself to you all. Thank you so much, Val, for being on today.
Thank you, Mr. Michael. Great to be here. And I am the scholarship lady, and I'm going into my 11th year working with students from the ages of 13 to 65 years old. There is so much money out there, and it just sits there.
Mm-hmm.
What I bring to the table is nobody has to research, nobody has to look for it. I hand them scholarships to work on. They don't have to worry about anything but being accountable for let's apply and let's see how much money we can get.
Right, right. So what made you start this, Val?
My daughter was in 12th grade, wanted to go to Texas State.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of looked at my numbers going, where does this money come from?
Right.
The 529 account when she was little, and you put a little in here and a little in there.
Mm-hmm.
And when it gets to 12th grade, well, we don't have half as much as we need.
Mm-hmm.
I worked at a school, went to the counselors, and they said, here's some websites, go to them. I was like, this is awesome. You know, I hit pay her, and I go to the website, and I don't see the scholarship.
Right.
A lot of research and a lot of digging and a lot of patience involved, but God blessed her with 4 years of scholarships. And when she walked that stage, she had no debt, I had no debt, and her dad had no debt. And the teachers were like, you need to do something with this.
Right.
And I was like, nobody's gonna be interested. This is a lot of work. It's a lot of, being persistent and consistent with getting things done. And it took off from there.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's amazing. 11 years, right?
Years throughout the United States, yes.
That's amazing. So what type of events do you do to assist students?
I did a hands-on experience back in December. It was a 5-hour workshop,
Mm-hmm.
and students from 9th grade to college level. And we applied for scholarships, we applied to college. I taught them how to read a check, what's the routing number, what's the account number. I taught them how to address an envelope, to understand their transcript. We edit essays, but I do small groups, large groups, private sessions, online sessions. And that, like I said, that's throughout the United States. I drive from Wiley to Houston out here in Texas.
Wow. And tell us some of the success stories that you've had thus far within these 11 years in these multiple states outside of your domain of Texas.
I have been able to get students acceptance letters by Labor Day. So we apply to colleges in July and August because I want them to get accepted early, and I want them to be able to be at the beginning of that scholarship list when they start handing them out. So I have a student in Indianapolis, and I think he's going to Penn and, receive the majority of his money. I think he still needs maybe $5,000 to $7,000. I have, students in California, and we're getting acceptance letters early. A student out here received $85,000 from Texas Westland. So I have had great success like this last couple of months with COVID. I've had 6 students to win money, to be awarded money. And if it's 500 here, 1,500 there, 2,000 here, it all adds up. And if those scholarships are renewable, they just have to reapply every year.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I have
Definitely.
students right now that have made it to phase 2 for the Sean Carter Foundation Scholarship. And Sean Carter, as we all know, is Jay-Z.
Hmm. Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. So in that 11 years, how much would you say that you've, I guess, raised in scholarships for students?
I don't know what that total number is. I really
Hmm.
don't. Like I have a student now that's been accepted that has 60 colleges that are offering her over $600,000. So, I put testimonials on my website, I put reviews on my website, but haven't really come up with that number because it is a process and getting accepted is like the first leg. And then the money from the colleges as well as the money from outside resources.
Yeah, definitely. You talked a little bit about the pandemic that we're all experiencing now. How has it affected your business, or has it affected your business?
It's increased my business.
Wow.
God is good because students are home all day, every day. And this is a diversion from them actually doing schoolwork. So yeah, my schedule is busy, which is really good. I've created a COVID-19 special price to bring that price down to make it more affordable for parents. But the students are really engaged. They're being accountable. My 11th graders, who are going to be 12th graders, we're getting ready to apply to college first, second week in July.
Gosh, that is amazing, Val. That's amazing. Oh, wow. So, as again, this pandemic, you say your business is still booming, but a lot of universities now, they are like freezing cost of attendance, and they're offering more scholarship students as well because of the pandemic. So, what do you think? Should students should stop, like ease up on scholarships, or should they continue to go and apply, even though all these other things are happening with universities?
Worst case scenarios is that they'll be overfunded.
Mm-hmm.
So my daughter's first semester at Texas State, I received a check for $2,000. And I said, what is this? And they said, she's overfunded. And I said, well, what's your definition of overfunded? And they said, she is satisfied financially for this first year of college. So save it for next year's, save it for books, but she had excess. So that's the worst case scenario. Don't stop when it comes to applying for scholarships because your worst case scenario is that the balance of that money could be possibly sent home where you could save it for the next year or next semester. Because if the scholarship is not renewable, then we have to start the process all over again for the next school year.
Definitely, definitely, Val. Definitely. Don't stop. Get it, right?
PhD level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. What are some of the things that you've seen that students kind of still mess up on? What are some of the major things that students mess up on during this process?
Requirements and eligibility are real. When they said they want 3 letters of recommendation, they want 3 letters of recommendation. When it comes to the essays, if they say 400 words, they want 400 words. Double space, 12-point font, we have to follow directions to the T. And it's not like, well, I got 3/4 of it, so they should accept it. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to be in it to win it, but you also have to follow whatever their protocol is. So for me, I edit students' essays because that's part of our problem. We're not answering the question as specifically as we can. We say the same thing over and over again just to make the word count. Go on the internet, research it, get some additional information, talk to family and friends, use some of your own personal experience. One of the things that I express to my students is when you go to answer a question and you make a statement, back it up with a couple of different examples of how it affected you or how you participated or what you saw that went wrong. One, that'll increase your word count, but 2, it'll make it real to the person who's reading the essay.
That's very important. Having those different perspectives. That's what makes you stand out. you know, from the other persons. Definitely. What are some things that you're working on for the future?
Working on for the future is starting students definitely in 8th grade. The transition from 8th grade to 9th grade can be very interesting, very difficult for students. And what I want the 8th graders to understand is that you go from a report card to a transcript. And as we know, that transcript will follow you for the rest of your life. You can't white it out, you can't change it. And colleges, as well as scholarship opportunities, want to see how you are preparing yourself for the future. You know, you want to be a doctor, you want pre-med, but your 9th and 10th grade year, you just bombed. You know, so you have to be able to start that roadmap towards your educational journey. So I'm trying to assist students even at a younger age. I would like to do more larger events where we have 9th grade through 12th grade and some college students there, and we're doing, you know, I call it a hands-on experience because it's not a lecture. They actually get things done while they're there. And I want to be able to go from different states and different cities to offer that to students and be able to fill those chairs, sometimes with donations or people who are willing to pledge a seat for a child. Because it's not a one and done. You don't take one of my sessions and that's it, everything's done and I'm ready. It's a process. So I'm creating programs for students and parents to be able to have their kids commit and be ready and prepared. If you're in my program, after maybe 10 or 15 sessions, you should be able to type with both hands a 250-word essay in about 40 minutes. So it's also other skills to get them prepared for college.
And it helps. It definitely helps. I definitely agree with you. You know, when I was a counselor, a college counselor, I would tell my students that as well. I would try to reach back into the 6th graders, 7th graders. Your grades matter. And like you said, that transcript will follow you forever. When you're applying to jobs, it will follow you forever. So yeah, words to live by. What advice would you give to students present day that are, you know, 6th graders that are trying to, you know, have the mindset of going to college, or even those high schoolers now that are coming back from this pandemic and they're just like, oh my gosh, you know, I want to go, but I just don't know where to start.
You don't know where to start. You can, of course, reach out to the scholarship lady, but sit down and talk with your parents, talk with counselors, talk with college students. But our schools these days offer a lot of electives. You don't know what you want to do. You don't know where you want to go. Start taking different electives in your school, whether it's cooking, law and order, or debate, or different levels of science classes because you think you want to be pre-med. Take those electives and see which one grabs you, which one that you're like, I like this. And then we can start to, I mean, they have the internet at their fingers, you know, the smartphone, just go on the internet and say, if I have a biology degree, what job can I get? You know, start touring different campuses. Right now, it may have to be virtual, but start touring different campuses because you're going to live there 4 years, 6 years, possibly 10 years to see what feels comfortable to you. Take your time, but start early. You know, AVID is an awesome class to take in school because they kind of take you through those different programs. Check with your church, you know, see what programs they have for college prep or college readiness. And just start to slowly think about your future, but act on it. And if you're not sure which direction, like I said, parents, counselors, they're here to help and assist.
Right, right. So much support is out there.
Right.
So much support is out there. How can they find you on social media, Scholarship Lady?
I'm the Scholarship Lady on Instagram. On LinkedIn, it's Valerie Gill. Facebook, I have the Scholarship Lady as well as Valerie Gill. On Twitter, I think I'm at Valerie Gill 65.
Gotcha.
I also do a Instagram recording every day. On Mondays, I'm reaching out to my 12th graders and my college students. On Tuesdays, I'm giving Be in the Know to the 11th graders. Wednesday, I'm trying to put some positive quotes out there for them. On Thursdays, it's my 9th and 10th graders because they need to start prepping and be aware they need to start working on community service and getting themselves under control of their grades. On Fridays, I do a Q&A. You put the questions out there, I will answer the questions for you. Saturday, I put a scholarship out. That's normally for 9th graders up to PhD level. Fill it out, submit it. Some of them you can even do on your phone if you don't have access to a computer or Wi-Fi. Mm-hmm. And then Sunday, I put a prayer out there. This life is difficult and it can be challenging, but we have to know that we can get through. There are people that will hold your hand every step of the way to help you through this education process. I have about 15 to 20 people on my team. I don't do this by myself. So they just need to reach out, go on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. My information is out there.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, definitely.
My website, scholarshipladyusa.com.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. And then all the information as well is going to be included within the description on our page as well. So no worries. If you didn't hear her that time or didn't quite have that pen ready, it's in there as well. Thank you so much, Val, for being with us today. We really appreciate the information.
Thank you, and for accommodating my schedule. I've seen many shows that you have done, and it's very informative information.
The Finkley Experience is an educational consulting firm that specializes in first-generation education. We assist parents and their students with the college process. We train school administrators, and we also partner with colleges and universities to assist with their first-generation population. To learn more about our consulting firm and to purchase our book and workbook, please visit our website at thefinkleyexperience.com. Hello, welcome back. Welcome back. I do hope that you are taking heed to these words that these ladies are telling you. I'm telling you, these ladies are the best in the business when it comes to finding scholarships and students applying. Now, they're not going to apply for the scholarships for you. Okay, you have to take advantage of the material and the information they have been giving you, and you have to actually do some work behind it. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take some time. Just as both of them have said, you know, their kids, they start with their kids, right? They start with their kids as guinea pigs, and now they're helping so many students along the way. So please take advantage of this. Buy their materials, look them up on their social media. I know them very well, so they will just stop and they'll ask questions that you may have. Follow them again on social media, and I promise you, you will not go wrong. I was going to give a Finkley corner this week, but I'm telling you, these ladies did such an awesome job. I'll just be repeating what they're saying because they took my thunder and they took what I was going to say this week. But I tell you, information from the experts. Look up Melinda Mihlbauer and look up Valerie Gill. Okay, I'm telling you, they're the best. Okay, the best. All right. On the next Michael Finkley, we have more professionals come in to talk about career and college readiness. All right. So be on the lookout for Mr. Antonio McFarland. He is a professional in the field and admissions, but also has an awesome book that gives you instructions within the college process. Be on the lookout for him for next week. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. Again, subscribe to our channel and ring that bell for notification. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.